Macmillan Audio presents The Emotion Code: How to Release Your Trapped Emotions for Abundant Health, Love, and Happiness by Dr. Bradley Nelson. Read for you by Dr. Bradley Nelson with an introduction read by Tony Robbins.
Foreword by Tony Robbins.
There are powerful invisible forces that are constantly at work in our lives, things we often take for granted, such as radiation, gravity, electromagnetism. Too little and life on Earth would not be possible. Too much and we'd all be dead. But we also have to include human emotion on the list of forces that shape us. Love, hate, fear, anger, gratitude are just a few emotions that uniquely and powerfully impact life as much as anything else on the planet. That's why neuroscientists, psychologists, and physiologists have spent the last few decades intensely researching and demonstrating the profound effects that emotion has on how we think and behave, and also on our personal health, our wellness, our energy levels, and our overall vitality. These days, after a traumatic event or a national tragedy, it's not uncommon to see several energy medicine practitioners with proven track records helping individuals in the moment find ways to process the trauma and effectively heal. With that context in mind, my wife Sage and I heard of Dr. Bradley Nelson's book, The Emotion Code, but we'd not read it. People dear to us, like my personal trainer Billy and my dearest friend and right arm Mary B, had independently brought up the Emotion Code in conversations. So for the third time this happened, Sage felt the nudge of intuition and basically said, "Honey, I'm intrigued. I think we're supposed to meet these people." So I asked a staff member of mine to reach out to Dr. Brad and see if he could perhaps come meet. We hoped Brad and his wife Jean could make arrangements to come to Florida and visit with us at our home. And we were delighted to hear that they were available. In fact, they jumped on a plane and arrived the very next morning. We were curious to hear about the breakthrough work that Dr. Brad had been doing over the past 30 years in the field of energy medicine. And over the next hour or two, Brad and his wife Jean graciously shared their story with us. They told us how they got into the healing arts in the first place and how they trusted in grace from the very beginning, feeling called to serve mankind, as they said. They shared the arc of their mission together and their drive to make a loving, healing difference in the world. And they're certainly doing that, I have to say. Brad and Jean also shared with us that some 30 years ago, they had purchased my cassette tape program called Personal Power from my old infomercials. They were in a really tough spot at the time, economically, and they listened to the 30-day program literally with total immersion, and they did the exercise, and it really helped them to kickstart their healing outreach by way of starting the first chiropractic practice, and then within a few months, buying their first home. I enjoyed hearing that I'd already unknowingly played a small part in their lives and that they'd been connected from a distance to us all along. In the clinical setting, Brad grew through dedicated study and modeling mentors, and of course his own spiritual practice of praying and asking for guidance before each patient's visit. Brad became committed to focusing not just on the presenting symptoms that people have, but also listening to the deeper inner wisdom as the source of guidance to make a difference in people's lives. I've spoken to many great doctors, those who create massive breakthroughs for people facing a variety of health conditions, and this is a common practice amongst them. It's a valuable lesson, I believe, to go beyond the limits of what the mind can tell you. Sometimes patients who had very difficult and painful challenges came to see Dr. Brad and he wasn't sure what to do. And it was at those times that he relied upon his higher power to guide him to find the root cause of the challenges people were dealing with. What we really loved about Dr. Brad is his drive to empower people to learn how to take care of themselves better, to heal themselves. I can relate to this because I'm always on the hunt for what I call profound knowledge. What's profound knowledge? To me, it's when you can learn something that's so simple that you can immediately apply it to change or improve your own life or anyone you have the privilege to touch. These types of insights and tools become invaluable in creating a greater quality of life, and they're absolutely essential in the area of health and wellness, where it's important to personally take responsibility for your emotional and physical vitality. With this deep purpose alive in their hearts and guiding them along the way, Brad and Jean Nelson have quietly been traveling the earth teaching people how to clear the weight of their emotional past in order to help heal themselves. Over the last 30 years, he's trained thousands of certified emotional code practitioners worldwide who are available to work with anybody who's in need. I always say complexity is the enemy of execution, so it's a beautiful thing when something is not only effective, but it's also so simple and easy to do that anyone can learn it. It's compelling to know that we can take what Dr. Brad has figured out and apply the principles to our lives today from our own homes, and not only help ourselves, but also help our loved ones as well.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?